Oh, wow. Another summation examination, judicial findings. The jurors' contentions. For pity's sake, for pity's sake. That little Nepalese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he? He did? If he said that the woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why can it only have been the victim? The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in the winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books, yes, nice job, that. But bourbon books, no, not worth a visit. What? How is this any important to the case? With only minor exceptions, the reasons for findings of the defendant are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears to convince of Mr. Natsumi's guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? But how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for that defense? Mr. Naruto, it is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue, yes, I know, I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yes, my lord. Yes, hit your cheeks. Lock in, Mr. Naruto. Lock in. I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke. Come on, Ryunosuke. You can do it. It's time. It's odd time to do our job. And I like how Inspector Grex is in the back. He's not part of this, but he's in the back. What did it say? When his identity already admitted. And let me ask you why. Ask you for this. Excuse me, but aren't you? Yes, that's alright. I was a witness then myself just 2 days ago. Yes, and I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the sight of it, anyway. Kind of like someone else we know. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's alright. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started forsaking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me and the other there. You had me with that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, water under the bridge. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back to the clock, I would. Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And I'm free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's becoming of Mr. First now. We never know, actually. We never know. I wish we do, but we never know about what happened to him. You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to have seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Japanese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let's not forget, man, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a livid-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Well, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say that what goes through your funny little minds? I could tell what's going on through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare that the man has already made an admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely your conclusion is obvious. No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. Too kind. Are you free after this? Oh my god, it kind of looks like she is flirting with him. That went well for her. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back for the bookshop, not in winter. But you couldn't deny there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yes, like you try on the map, you mean. What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that the counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Maybe he did. Maybe it wasn't that cold if you really think about it. Well, yes, that's true. And at the end, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to go get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Why is all this true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went alone along Briar Road. I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I have given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone to Cabbage Road, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case, honest, I would. A reason why Suzuki-san might have taken the longer way home. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway the young man's opinion without one. At least he's reasonable, God. Unlike other people, he did it, you can't change my mind, no matter what. So, good thing he's not one of them. Go back over here, get to the top of this. Bro, stop placing X! Okay. There you go. Why is she here? Whatever's the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garrett, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room. The master's wife? Where did you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid, you understand. She's keeping up the charade. This is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean. Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was on the letter I received. The instructions were very clear. So I'm afraid I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And in a time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Yes, he does. Oh my goodness. Me? Yes! He's just the sort of fucking racist, haven't I told you? What?
spending all the time in the dark and dingy room, sporting the unscorpious mustache. The man never speaks. Don't get me wrong, he started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him.
Don't you have one neighbor though?
I've heard them, people think we must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people possibly say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more.
Well, you just called him a worm, so. Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. I don't trust him at all. Actually, I don't really rely on her, honestly. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family. Huh? The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do my other wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're not late on the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, the waters and gas supply pipes bursting left and right and center. They have their cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk it is. So, you were out digging the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By the old bookshop it was. What? Another coincidence? That's right. Minshun Street it was. Minshun Street. On the map, Mr. Naruto, there only wasn't 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can't we just get this business over with now? Please, sir. It's important. Alright, fine. I'll do it then. I don't know, I keep changing his voice every now so often, and that's... Okay, good. We have that now.
Your books, yes. I would go there. Huh? Sorry? Fold it, you say? Fold what?
No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they say they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing over there every day, including the day you were all talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in the question?
Well, I was picking up books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 I left. And my daily routine, you see, same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget the day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down the Cabbage Road when I slipped on the ice and dunked my head. It always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road.
That's right, I live in Corn Pipe. You see, heading down the Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add the information from your formal statement. It may be be extremely significant.
Sorry? Extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now.
Bruh. Even I have the same face.
It sends me shiver down my spine to hear that the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective.
I agree. It is the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends shivers down my spine. Still, at least some of these assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something. We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruhodo, cunningly. Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again carefully. And if any of these assertions are at odds, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other. Yes, don't hold back. Pit them all against each other. Alright, I know which ones I'm gonna make. So, since there is a possibility, he would really to change his mind if there's a possibility, like a reason, why he would take another way around. But we clearly see that Meerschaum Street is still being worked on. So,
Objection.
those two statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds? Consul, explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
Oh, what? I just want to get this done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3.
Oh, me, sir? What do you mean?
Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implication of what's been said on our map of the local area. On a day of question, Mr. Natsume visited the bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. On the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out in Meerschaum Street, making it impassable. I can't say the name. Is it Meerschaum? Meerschaum? Or something like that? I don't know. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerschaum Street and down Briar Road.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have been a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman,
Oh shit, I'm getting tired now.
came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to the lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right.
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, but we now see that he had no other choice.
Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, if I may,
Yes?
I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Alright. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened.
Thank you, smart man.
What about you, sir?
Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in. That's what I say. When there's a hole, fill it in!
That's his saying, apparently. Like, if there's a hole, fill it up. No matter what, always fill up that hole. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful. Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds, at least. It strengthened our position somewhat. Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if we could just identify one more clue of discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. We might be able to tip the balance completely. Yes, that's exactly what we got to do. Von Zieks is looking to bringing this trial to an early conclusion. The That's what we have to prevent. By whatever means we have to at our disposal. Whatever we have in our disposal. Yeah.
He can't read, apparently. Thank you, Counselor. On with the submission examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Now then, for the next one, I'm gonna pit it now that we know that he had to take the other way around. Wrong button. Excuse me, I'm just gonna skip this. Yes, I know. Hurry up! Can't believe I fucking did that. I don't know if I should cut it or not. I'll probably will. Anyways, before I fucking press it again, I meant to press triangle. Pit her with the guy, because he did state that he did see someone. He did state that he was walking on in a route. And this woman here says that he obviously saw someone, the woman in green. But look at the guy. He was there at that night, walking in another street, and he's wearing green. What if Natsume actually saw him instead?
Objection!
Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the jury's reasoning.
Flaw? What are you talking about, Counselor?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. My, whatever you mean, sir? Is he talking to me? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to Your Books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat and who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we all well aware of this. All of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madam? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. The same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets of the neighborhood. Oh my! My goodness, you mean? That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting it might be him? I'm just saying it could be him. That the person of the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapsing in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today. That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Oh my god. Well, look at that! My goodness me! I'm sorry, you need to pee? Oh my god, dumbass. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Cabbage Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. The gasp. We're on to something here.
You idiot, old man! If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming around about there, we'd be boxed this off hours ago!
And really? What were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime in the LA to walk on the street these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up the latest styles of the wear of beautiful green overcoat? Is it?
What?
My lord, my makeup's running. But also, my lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but
You'd like to change your leading, I presume?
I do declare that I should like to call the verdict of not guilty.
Thank you.
And I would too!
Why? What? Why?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well,
We don't know why you're doing so. Oh my god, he's throwing it. And you? Thank you, madam. We finally... Wow, that was fast. We got 4 of them. About time.
The summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes 2, the nose 4, and so the nose have it not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have the consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
He's like, I'm finished with my Kool-Aid. Now it's Powerade. Never not anymore. Could it seem foolish of me to drink from my hollow chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it. In disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by the Eastern entertainer. Whatever do you mean?
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I said is the truth. Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 has undoubtedly repaired the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you have excavated, sir. That's right. Took me the whole day, and they paid me a measly 2 pence for it. Now, my learned friend, Nipponese friend, tell me, do you have any notions of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily afforded by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't dream of it. And what a waste of time. No coaches could have had hope of passing anyway, and we just turn the gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that we could spring over a 2-yard trench of his meandering around town. Oh! Is that true, is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased of the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Crushed in a single sentence. And old man!
old man, you can talk?
You can talk? What the fuck? You say that around 5 o'clock in the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Hooray! Was there a suspicious looking Nipponese behind you at all time?
Oh, I can't say as I remember.
You don't even remember that? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was the old man that was accused, that the accused saw. But I would say 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Ugh! How does he do this all the time? How did he know? Order! Order! Lord 16, explain yourself. My lord! If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. So I take my coat off, ha! So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What? What are you talking about? I just got here. The fuck? My lord! The prosecution requests permission to call its next witness to the stand. Bishop, bring forth the witnesses. It's next witnesses. Mr. Naruto, don't you remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be prosecution's witnesses. Alright, no matter who Lord Van Zieks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Sosuke-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing that to the very end, until this battle is over. Alright, we're on to round 2. What the fuck are they? One of them looks so sleepy. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. What the hell?
Constable Rolly beat Sir! Nothing to report on the street, Sir! Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I got back to sleep. And I miss Beat. And I miss Beat. Patricia's my name, and I'm proud to say I'm this young town's hero's wife. That's my wife, yes.
What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. Yeah, 1 year anniversary with my beloved.
No. It was your husband. I was asking about. He seems tired. Highly surprising. Was being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed. Apart from the rare days off, our gallant officers trudge from 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the tech streets, and check the meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting the extinguishing our street lights.
There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all.
I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I have collapsed long ago. But it goes without saying that the policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate the resolve of any crime on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor.
So sleepy, I'm a man of honor.
And a man of slumber. Why am I closing my eyes when I'm trying to make that voice with him? What the fuck? On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down the Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, Raleigh? Constable Raleigh Beat, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir.
What a great witness he's going to be. Are you sure he was even awake when he saw the crime? Very good.
I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir. I try not to sleep.
Fussing up. And he passed out already. Have a good night, sir. Have a good night.